A question was asked to a northern elite if this hunger and the poverty in the north is a deliberate action for the leaders to control the people, and here was his response. I'd like us to hear what he responded to that question. But I think these people are the major issue we have in Nigeria, because the rate at which these people give birth to children, knowing fully well that you don't have all it takes, you don't have house, you don't have enough houses, you don't have anything it takes to protect or to provide for those children, but busy you are giving birth to 30 children, and then tomorrow those children grows up without education, without parental care, without anything, and then tomorrow they grow up into entering into banditry, unknown government, into entering into kidnapping. And this is how these northerners are the main issue we have in Nigeria, because they are not educated, they don't have anything it takes to, they're not adding anything in Nigeria because they don't have all it takes to provide for your children. But you're busy, you're giving birth to 20 children, 30 children that will end up being a battle pusher, that will end up being a friendly herdsman, that will end up enjoying the bandits, because those children now, they are open or they are prone to take anything they hear. I can meet them and tell them, okay, come and work for me and I will pay you 1,000 naira. They will gladly do it because they don't have food, they don't have clothes, they don't have parental care, they don't have anything. I'm going to show you how these our leaders in the north have failed the northerners, and how northerners are the main issue we have in Nigeria. Because those children now, most of them are joining all these Lakwara group, terrorist group for penny money, because they don't know what it takes to work and earn money, and they don't know what it takes or what is called a parental care, because they did not experience that love and parental care. So they tend to join any group that calls them, and that's why we have more terrorist group rising in Nigeria. But let me guys take a look at this response, and I'll be to guys in a minute.
In a way, religion played a role there. The man who has not gone to school, he's been told that he can marry 4 wives, is allowed, and that he can give birth to 27, 30 children. You understand? Mm-hmm. So he's not even thinking that, these 27, 37 children, I have to educate them. And I do not have a house where I can provide 27 rooms for everybody to sleep comfortably. And you know what comfort does to intellectual development, Mm-hmm. So that is not correct. I think what is happening is that because of deficit of education, mm-hmm. maybe, and I hope I'm wrong, maybe the leaders did not put in place what was reasonably necessary to accommodate that dislocation for the purpose of educating the populace. So rather, they leave it that way. That's how.
But isn't the failure of the leadership of the Northern?
It is. It is.
So you and your colleagues, Northern elite, you have failed your people.
Well, I will enter a plea of no guilty to that charge, in the sense that, have we been given the opportunity, for example, to occupy, you understand, positions from which we can generate policies that will address these issues? If you don't have that opportunity, what do you do?
But the Northern elite have failed the people of the North.
Well, I don't want
with the rate of out-of-school children, the level of poverty in that, the backwardness that you see in development, isn't a sheer failure of some of you who lead the North?
I don't know what your definition of failure is.
But when people from that region of the country cannot favorably stand shoulder to shoulder with their colleagues in the South, they don't have the same advantage or the same opportunity that they have. Most of them are on the street. Do you know the number of millions of people or children who are on the street?
That was inherent. If I can vastly now accuse the southern part of the country of moving with policies that deliberately put the North in the disadvantaged area, what will be your defense?
Is it the South that caused the disadvantages that you see in the North?
There are a lot of things that came to play.
There are those people who say some of the southern states are deliberate efforts by some leaders in the South to keep the South more developed than you find in the North. These are debates.
Let me tell you.
These are conversations.
These conversations at times will generate something different because the understanding may be different. But let me tell you something. Unfortunately, we fought a war. After the war, you understand, the civil service of this country was hijacked by a section of this country. And therefore, deliberate efforts were made to make sure that their people are empowered as a deliberate issue. Deliberate policy was put in place, albeit not clearly outwardly, that can be read, to keep another section perpetually distant from the civil service of this country. You understand?
And you blame leaders from the South for that?
Why will I blame them? I won't blame them. But I will say they betrayed the thinking of our heroes past, who believe in the unity of this country and who wanted to see a strong, united Nigeria. They betrayed that.
So you do not accept the blame on the northern elite for keeping the North underdeveloped.
They are not keeping maybe what I don't understand. You see,
you still don't agree that your children are on the street, Senator, in the northern part of the country. In their millions out of school, uncared for, uncatered for.
Let me tell you.
Is that not the failure of the leaders of that region?
It's not.
Who is responsible for them?
I don't want to say it's failure. You understand? Now, education is not something you pick on the street. It's a resource-backed enterprise. You understand? Now, can you honestly say that resource-wise, did not have opportunity to have the resources that will turn the North around educationally? You were able to do your own, Sheung, because I've given you an example that if you take 10 Sheungs from the South, their children will be averaging 3 and 4. Mm-hmm. If you take 10 Balana Allahs from the North, they will be averaging 12, 20. So if, for example, you give 1 million to Sheung to educate 4 children, and you give the same 1 million for Allah to educate 27 children, that doesn't mean I have 27. I have only 3. You understand? So you see, these things are issues that were as old as the independence of this country, and our leaders knew about this, and they have made efforts to make sure that that situation is reversed.
I was saying these Northerners are the issue you have in Nigeria because they have lots of poor people in Northerners. The children, most of them are every day they're running up begging for food, and those children, they can easily join any terrorist group just to make a living. And you should not blame them. You are meant to blame the leaders and the parents. Because how can you give birth to a children, up to 30 children, but you know fully that you do not have the capacity or what it takes to train those children in school, but rather you went ahead to give birth to those children, knowing fully well that you cannot take care of them. A child needs a parental care, a provision, and protection from the parents. Without those 3 things, a child can grow up not knowing anything and can do anything that comes his way. That's why this country is in a mess it is today. Come to the Igbo, you see less begging children in the street, though we have less begging children because most parents in the East are educated, and most of them have all it takes to take care of their child. They have that parental care, that parental love, and at least if the child is growing, he knows what is bad from what is good. And this, if a bad thing comes his way, he can be able to say no or go to the parents to complain. There's a parental care and a connection to that. But in the North, we have nothing like that in the North. That's why we have more insecurities happening in the North, and they are not entering the South-East and the South-South, entering everywhere in Nigeria and causing insecurities. Because at the video that I heard that the Lakwada group was giving 1 million naira to anybody that will join them. That means, and those kind of children, they will not have any option than to join Lakwada group and collect 1 million naira. And then we have tendency of growing insecurities and terrorist group in Nigeria because of one, the Northerners, of course. Like I said, those people are the issues we have in Nigeria, and not any other person. These people are the main issues you have in Nigeria. But anyway, guys, to know what to think, I would like to know what the guys think in the video watch now. Let me hear the comment section. I'll be with you guys in a minute.